It's day 27. Let's see what we got today. My ex-wife is mad that I'm not strict enough with our daughter. Calling all parents. I'm gonna need you in the comment section. All right, we have a deal. This story is pretty recent. It started October 11th, 2025. I, 43 male, have a daughter, 16 female, who I have joint custody over with my ex-wife, 39 female. We got divorced when my daughter was a baby and the court awarded 50-50 custody for the both of us. I will admit though, being a doctor comes with its consequences. I haven't been as present as I wish I could have been. When my daughter was 13, she started telling me things that her mom does or rules that she has in place over her and how she thinks it's unfair. I would listen to her and advise her to talk to her mom. My daughter would then ask if she has to obey those rules over here still, to which I said no. At first, it was just small stuff that I found nitpicky, things like not being able to eat in the living room. As she's gotten older, she has started making more requests for some privileges in my house, and it's pretty much gone like this. Example 1, Mom doesn't let me hang out with friends during the week. Well, that's dumb. If you have a ride there and back, you can go with your friends. Example 2, Mom doesn't let me wear comfortable clothes around the house. She says I have to dress modestly. You can walk around the house naked for all I care. I'm uncomfortable. Example number 3, you and Mom's houses don't have locks on my bedroom door. There isn't a lock. I can call a guy out and have him put a lock on it if you want. And example 4, Mom doesn't let me drink soda. Do you want soda? If so, I can order it with our groceries from Hy-Vee. I'm assuming that's a grocery delivery app. You get the idea. I don't want to say I've become a doormat for my daughter, but I'm not nearly as stingy about rules. It's her house just as much as it is mine in my eyes. My ex-wife recently has been going off on my daughter and I, saying that I'm letting her get away with any and everything, and how my lack of discipline at my house is leading her to break rules now at her mother's house. I told my ex-wife that she should ease up on our daughter because she's almost a damn adult and she doesn't need to be treated like a toddler. My ex-wife went bananas over the phone with me, and at her house, she went off on my daughter for being a undisciplined brat, in quotations. My ex-wife is threatening to take me to court for custody if I don't straighten up my act, and I told her that she will kiss my. It has me wondering though, am I being an a-hole to my ex-wife? Is this bad dad behavior? I want my daughter to feel safe, comfortable, and happy, and I want to believe that I'm doing that. If I am being an a-hole to my ex-wife, what do I do? This is interesting, and I do especially want the parents' opinion on this because I have a very different perspective. I'm not a parent yet, but I have divorced parents and I grew up with divorced parents my whole life. I was 1 year old when they got divorced. My dad's house had very different rules than my mom's house. And then when my mom got remarried, there were other rules because then there was a stepdad involved and then we had there's a lot of different rules and parenting styles. And it was a little confusing being on the kid's side of it because you're like, oh, but I can do that at mom's house. Why can't I do that at dad's house? So I'm curious. I'm curious to know from the parents' perspective on that. Let's check out some of the top comments. Someone said, not the a-hole. The clothes and the door lock concern me. Is your ex remarried? Other kids in the house? Policing what she wears at home and calling it modest makes it seem like your child is some sort of sexual object and not a kid. Then the lock. It really sounds like she wants to keep people out. You should ask her about that more in depth. The other thing, some people are more strict on than others. Your ex cannot control what happens in your house, whether she likes it or not. You are an equal parent. OP responded and said, now that you mentioned the lock thing, that does seem concerning. I just passed it off as she wants her own privacy and I left it as that. Before my daughter mentioned it, I didn't even think the door didn't have a lock. I'm trying to remember if my doors had locks growing up. I don't even know. I don't think I ever locked the door. I just wasn't doing anything that I needed to lock the door, I guess. I'm just saying. But keep in mind, at her age, she's 16. I moved out at 17 to my very first apartment, and I've been on my own ever since. So that probably is why I had my own apartment. Next comment, is it possible that religion might play a role in this situation for the rules at the mother's house? OP said, we are not Muslim. I am an atheist. I'm pretty sure my daughter is too because I don't hear her talking about going to any form of mass. But my ex-wife is an Orthodox Christian. I don't remember the conversation in full, but it started when my daughter wore just a bra and shorts around her mom's house when she was like 14, and her mom flipped out. She doesn't let my daughter wear anything that is revealing or inappropriate around the house or in public. Me personally, I don't care what my daughter does or doesn't wear. I've had multiple days that I've woken up on the weekend to get ready for work, and this can't be normal. Well, I'm tripping out. What's happening? I've had multiple days that I've woken up on the weekend to get ready for work, and my daughter is butt ass naked cooking breakfast for herself or watching TV at 16? Oh my God. That makes me so wildly uncomfortable. That cannot be normal. That's not normal. That's not normal, right? What's happening? My first thoughts aren't, oh my God, my daughter is naked. How blasphemous. It's, damn, whatever she's cooking smells pretty good, or that TV show makes no sense to me. I've bought my daughter clothes that she wanted and I didn't give much thought to it. I don't know how to breeze past that. Next comment, does OP talk with his daughter on a regular basis on what's going on in her life? OP said, my daughter is pretty open with who she's with or where she is going. I do know that she's gonna lie from time to time because she's a teenager and all teenagers do it, but I trust that she can hold her own. I bought her a thing with pepper spray that goes on her keychain with her car keys that she carries everywhere, so worst case, she has something. I know a few of her friends that I've met at the house, but other than that, no, I don't know. Next comment, do you enforce rules at your house when your daughter is with you? OP said, I do enforce other rules, such as she needs to have all her homework done before going out with friends. I need to see her report cards. She needs to do her chores, etc. She doesn't fight with me over them and does them usually without me even asking, so she's very responsible. Next comment, what about OP on his job schedule and why he doesn't know what his ex has been up to after the divorce? Who cares? Do we care? OP said, I work almost 16 hours every day and I still have to be a full-time parent to the best of my ability. I try not to pry into my ex-wife's life because most of it isn't any of my business unless it involves my daughter. I can ask about it though. Okay, last comment, we're learning a lot. People are asking questions that is giving us a lot more details. This is what he had to say on having grown-up talks with his daughter. I've had grown-up talks with my daughter before and it's gone fairly well. My daughter told me before anyone else that she's bisexual and she was dating a girl. She asked me to keep it a secret from her mom, so I did. She's not dating the girl anymore, but I did meet her and she seemed like a nice person. I've met a few of her friends, but not all of them. I'll try to do better with keeping up with that. And my daughter was okay with me putting Life 360 on her phone. My daughter doesn't do substances and she doesn't drink. I told her if someone offers her a drink or substances, deny it and tell me. She said that she promises to and that I can trust her. As far as I know, my daughter hasn't engaged in any sexual activity, but I've had all the yucky talks with her. When she started having her periods, I told her if she ever needs pads or tampons to let me know and I'll make sure we get them. I told her if she's going to have sex to make sure that they are being safe, like rubbers, consent, all that. I told her that in the unlikely event she has sex and thinks that she's pregnant or something that happens to risk pregnancy, to let me know immediately and I'll get her pregnancy tests and contraceptives. Now, like any parent, I tell her not to have sex, but I also know that she's 16 and teenagers tend to do it anyway. So I would rather her do it and be safe and know what resources are available than do it without the education and end up in a bad situation. Now we have some more updates, but we're gonna drink some water first. It's Hydration Station. Drink your water. Cheers. It's finally time to show you my Christmas nails that I did myself. I'm a beginner, so be nice. We have one red with pink polka dots, two, I don't know if we can see. Where's the camera? Hello? Hello. Oh, there we go. Two, it's pink with like little white pearls. I actually like individually put every single pearl on there. Third is this little bow with a diamond. The bow needs some work, okay? We're not gonna talk about it. Four, I put all these little, I don't know, they look like Christmas ornaments, you know, like rainbow gems.
individually put all those on. And then this one is just like inspired by snow. Aren't those fun? These are a little long than I'm used to. I don't like my nails this long. I don't think I'm ever gonna do this again. But here we are. I think I did decent, for being a beginner. Why not?
All right, so the next update was in the same post, but it was the next day. I have been talking to my daughter and ex-wife over the last several hours and have figured out a few things. One, there is no other permanent resident at my ex's house. No boyfriend, no husband, no other kids, nothing like that. My ex does have this book club thing that she hosts and has guests once a month, but they are all adults. Two, my ex-wife doesn't let my daughter have a lock on her door because, and I quote, because I'm not going to give her the ability to hide her substances or boyfriends that she is sleeping with. Three, my ex doesn't let my daughter see her friends during the week because she says her friends are distractions to school. However, her report card says that she's doing fine academically. Four, my ex doesn't just control what she wears, but she also won't let her use makeup or even watch and consume adult media. My daughter says that my ex called her attire slutty, because I don't know if the real word will get flagged, one time because she was wearing a shirt with no bra. My ex denies saying this, but I wouldn't put it past her. Five, I asked my daughter if she'd be okay with me searching her room, and my daughter said she had nothing to hide. I looked around, and guess what? No substances, no vapes, no illegal plans to take over the US government, nothing like that. Normal 16-year-old girl room. Six, I asked my daughter if she would have a problem with me putting the Life 360 on her phone so I can see where she goes. She handed me her phone and said again, she has nothing to hide, so she doesn't care. Seven, I did talk to my daughter about her attitude and treatment of her mother. She agrees that she has been acting out and said she will text and call me if she has an issue with something that her mom is doing. She said she will respect her mother's rules, but she did ask me to talk to her about her mother's comments about her body. Apparently, my daughter feels like her mother is sexualizing her and her body, and it makes her uncomfortable. I agreed to talk to her mom about it. So far, that conversation is deadlocked because her mom will not let up on her modesty stuff. Eight, my daughter told me my ex says that she will try to take me to court, and my daughter said she will ask a judge to live with me full time. Oh, that will be messy. That's gonna get messy. Oh boy. Another update, 1 week later, we're now at October 19th. Over the past 7 days, I've been going through a lot of stress between work, my daughter's reaction, and my ex-wife. To start, last Sunday, I had a very long discussion with my ex-wife about our daughter. To not ramble on, I'll just give you the short version. My ex-wife says she has to be strict on my daughter so she doesn't turn out bad. She doesn't let my daughter wear makeup, hang out with friends during the week, eat certain foods or drink certain drinks, consume certain media, have locks on her door, wear certain clothes, and she makes my daughter text her every hour she's not at school, but out of the house on weekends, detailing who she is with, where she is at, and what they are doing. I think the internet these days calls that a helicopter parent, but don't quote me on that. You know what? I feel 99.9% sure, so you can quote me. You can quote me. I talked to my daughter about her mother, and my daughter says that her life over there is very stressful, feeling like she's just always being watched. She feels like she has no freedoms or autonomy, and that this is at the mercy of her mother. My daughter did admit that she'd been acting out recently at her mother's house, but I can't really blame her. I talked to one of my female coworkers who has 3 daughters about the situation that I'm in. She said she is worried about my ex-wife mentally abusing my daughter, and I agreed. Some of you online also pointed out that my ex-wife could be sexualizing and objectifying my daughter, to which I've also come to agree with. I knew my daughter and my ex-wife had some issues and have been butting heads on and off now for a while, but I didn't know it was getting this bad. Regardless, I talked to my daughter about her mother's rules at her house. If her mother doesn't want her eating in the living room or drinking Sprite, she's allowed to have that rule. I told her she cannot like it all she wants, but at the end of the day, they are not unreasonable requests. My daughter, though, very firmly asked me to talk to my ex-wife about the things that bug her the most. Those things are what she does and doesn't wear in the house, a lock on her door, and the rules in place about friends being only on weekends and texting her mom constantly. The lock on her door was also something else we discussed. I asked my daughter why she wanted a lock on her door, and she provided information I absolutely did not need to know. But basically, she wants privacy and to be alone sometimes. let's not even let our minds spiral about what that could mean. Apparently, my ex-wife just barges into her room and searches her things. I found that to be ridiculous and a complete violation of my daughter's privacy, and I had a fit to my ex about it. No wonder my ex doesn't know any of my daughter and I's little secret, that she's bisexual. She can't even trust her mother not to go through her stuff. Next, the whole issue about what she does and doesn't wear in the house. In my house, I couldn't give less of a... Usually she walks around in a shirt with no bra, wearing boxers or something. Sometimes she wears normal clothes. Sometimes she goes nude. Sometimes she wears one of those full body pajama suits. Don't care, but she knows the rules about it. Guys, I just cannot imagine being 16 and walking around nude in front of my parent. I don't understand that. I don't know. Maybe you guys can enlighten me and surprise me that this is normal, but that does not feel normal. Don't care, but she knows the rules about it. She has to leave the house wearing normal clothes, and she needs to have normal clothes on when we have guests at the house. When she's there alone or with me, she can do whatever she wants. Her mom, on the other hand, has been sexualizing her daughter and making incredibly suggestive comments about her body. My ex denies doing this, but I don't think my daughter would lie about it. And knowing my ex-wife, she 100% said it. My ex has said my daughter dresses slutty, flaunts herself like a stripper, and is not a modest woman. Needless to say, this pissed me off 6 ways to Sunday, and we exchanged some heated words over the topic. I don't know what 6 ways to Sunday? What does that mean? My daughter came over to the house today for our 50-50 custody swap and immediately went and locked herself in her room. At first, I thought maybe she was going to FaceTime with one of her friends or something, so I let it be for a bit. But after she didn't come out for an hour or so, I knocked on her door. My daughter had been crying. I asked why, and she said that my ex told her she is going to take me to court and to ensure I won't see her again. I hate when parents get the kids involved like that. I'm gonna do this to your father, you'll never, and get involved. And do you know what that does to a child? Good news for us is there is another update. So hopefully they did not in fact go to court and have to go through all that, but we'll find out. It's very recent. It came to December 11th, 2025, almost 2 months later. I forgot just how long and boring the court process is. We just had our initial hearing, and bless my attorney, before officially filing into a court, I met with my ex-wife one last time. I brought my kiddo and my attorney with me so that the 3 of us could talk and the attorney could mediate in a way. My ex-wife took the entire meetup as an attack on her rights to see her daughter and now has her own attorney, so to court we go. My attorney advised my daughter and I to maintain the 50-50 custody agreement until a judge changes it, so we did. You would think my ex-wife would also agree on it, but no. My ex-wife tried to keep my daughter. My daughter, thankfully, recorded the entire screaming match between her and her mother before she got into her car and drove to my house herself. Sadly, we are a 2 all-party consent state, so my daughter and I are keeping that to ourselves, but I told her to send me screenshots of what her mother sent her while she was driving, and I can give it to my attorney. Fast forward to the actual hearing. I thought it was going to be nice and easy, but I forgot I live in America and literally nothing in our court system is easy. The judge scheduled another court date and said a GAL would be appointed for my child. What was over a month of waiting was wrapped up in about an hour, and our next hearing is scheduled out past the winter and Christmas. When I got home, I told my daughter about what happened and that she was going to be speaking to an attorney to a GAL, which means guardian ad item. She asked what to say to them, and I told her to say whatever she wants to them and to not let her mother or I dictate what she tells the attorney. That is her attorney, that she can tell whatever she wants to, and that is for them and her to know, and to know alone, even if it jabs at me or her mom. So it sounds like there might be another update because the court date was pushed back after Christmas. So we'll see. We'll see. It could even get pushed back again. That's pretty often. It just keeps getting postponed depending on the situation, but I would not be surprised. Let's see some of the top comments and what people are thinking now. Someone commented and said, I agree that your ex is a bit too strict, but you are also a bit too lenient. The two of you might have been able to find a middle ground with a little more communication. I would never have brought my attorney and a child to a discussion with my ex like that. That should have been between the two of you only. Involving your attorney and the child would have raised the hackles on most people. That was truly a mistake. I have no opinion on how this is going to come out since I haven't heard anything from your ex's point of view, but you do sound like a very good parent, and therefore, if she is hoping to restrict your time with the child, I cannot see that happening at all. I ride the fence about the reverse. OP responded and said, I have tried to meet her in the middle about things, but she does not budge. I have met with her and my daughter privately, and absolutely nothing has ever been accomplished in those meetups. I was hoping that if I brought my attorney along this time, my ex-wife would finally realize maybe she is the one not cooperating, but it seems that she is incapable. Next comment, did you ask the attorney about the video your daughter took? I think the statuses specifically cover audio recordings and they may not cover video. When those laws were written, video recordings weren't a concern. Your lawyer may know of a legal loophole to allow the video, its use. Oh, like you're saying in court. The video of her fight with her mom and her mom trying to keep her and break the custody agreement. I don't know the rules though about the law and the evidence and all that. I'm not even gonna pretend. I don't think you guys would have believed me anyway, to be honest. OP responded and said, unfortunately, I can't really prove it without the video my daughter took, but technically what my daughter did is actually illegal in our state. She didn't know it was, so I don't fault her for it, but I can't provide it to my attorney. I didn't ask my attorney or tell them out of fear of my daughter hurting the case. I know my daughter didn't do it on purpose and didn't know the law, but I don't want to give my ex-wife the ammunition of, see, he's spying on me. He's sending his daughter in to record our private conversations. True. She would probably say that for sure. All right, so we don't have any other updates yet, so let me know. I need all the thoughts on this one, please. I felt like I was going a little cuckoo bonkers up here. See you in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy.